Okay, Devin. Before we were rudely interrupted by Comcast janky ass service, I think you were asking Rob about his feelings on the draft. So you guys can go ahead and continue that conversation.
Okay, bet.
Uh, basically saying, I mean, for me, man, the NFL draft is one of the. I mean, it's like 3 days long. I really, really enjoy watching the NFL draft as much of it as I can every year. And this year, I mean, one of the most crazy and ridiculous things happened, like like literally 10 minutes before the draft started. Many of you, I'm sure at this point, every housewife in America knows about this story by now. But a draftee, Tunzel, I forget the kid's first name. Is it
I think
Larry?
it's Larry Tunzel. Yeah.
Larry Tunzel. So he's a offensive lineman. Um, just Larry.
I mean, he was supposed to be one of the. Like, it was a point where he was going to be the first pick in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was top uh, offensive tackle from Ole Miss, and literally 10 minutes before the draft, a video drops of him wearing like a gas mask, and like trying to hold the smoke in, and like eventually, taking the gas mask off to reveal like his face while he's like choking off the weed smoke. Now, this video drops 10 minutes before the draft, before he's about to get his life changing event.
Life
You
changing,
know,
right?
so I mean, he basically falls in the draft and loses. I
Millions.
think it was estimated like 9 million basically, and that he lost by not being drafted, top five or whatever, top 10 or whatever. So the Miami Dolphins went ahead and took a chance on him. It ended up probably being a good spot for him. So because he can go down there and
That's
learn
supposed to take a
behind.
fucking picture with an actor
Okay,
from Chicago
okay,
Fire.
okay. So yeah, he basically went down there in Miami, man, and it's a good spot for him to be because he get to learn behind the former Bears tackle actually. Uh, I forget his name too, but offensive tackle from used to be with the Bears. But I mean, the most crazy and ridiculous
Now,
thing that I've
are we
ever
figuring out
seen.
who did it yet?
No, they're still investigating it. Um, it, it. During the draft, they were saying that it was possibly his father-in-law, and his father-in-law
Yeah.
came out and vehemently denied it. He talked to TMZ like, nah, this thing, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That wasn't me. So today it came out that it might be his business, a former business partner. But people were saying it was his father-in-law because his father-in-law, either
Sued
he
him.
was suing his father-in-law, or yeah,
His
or
father-in-law
his
was suing him.
father-in-law was suing him. But it turns out, maybe it's him, maybe it's not. Nobody knows really. They're investigating his former business partner, to see
You
if
know,
it may be him. I mean, that's a hell of a business partner, a former business partner.
I, I
He
might
holding
have to
on
whoop
to a
my
2 year old
father.
video.
I might have to whoop my father-in-law's ass just off the strength. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
yeah, just from it being possibly him.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be you. We're not completely sure, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and whoop your ass anyway,
Just in case.
just in case. And
just
then,
just to cover all my bases.
yeah, I gotta cover my bases. We'll see what happens afterwards. Afterwards, but for the time being, I'm gonna have to kick your ass, cause first of all, for suing me, like you're really gonna sue me? You gonna sue me? You gonna sue me?
Like if I was anybody else, would you sue me? No, but I'm going to the league, so now you want to sue
Now
me.
you want
Like
to
what
sue
Yeah.
kind
me?
of shit is that?
Okay.
Fuck out of here.
Then I'd have to find some hard hitting pipe laying brothers to get me at evil on my former business partner. I mean, what is going on? I mean, and that video was so funny because it's like he didn't even say any words. He was just like he was so high. It was like all he was doing was laughing and giggling. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible situation. It sucks because the video's so that's so old, and it basically ruined all of his prospects. And I know going to Miami, you know, he could have went to a better place than Miami. Miami, I've always called it, that place is the axis of evil. So anything that could go wrong is probably going to go wrong if he doesn't have his head completely screwed on straight.
Oh my God, that was when he got drafted there. When they was like, oh, well, he did get drafted in the first round, and because I was down there, and I was like, oh shit. Well, that's good. I mean, he didn't drop out of the first round completely. It's still in the top 25. And then I saw where they sat, and I was like, oh, that was the wrong
Oh
place for that motherfucker to go.
no! Like, ain't
All
nothing
the all
good
the
ever
all
came
the
out of Miami. Nothing good has come out of Miami. It's the access of evil. It's like all of the bad things you just go through. It's a Twitter account called Florida Man. Because like all of the terrible stories that you hear in life always start with like Florida man rips person's face off. Florida man does this.
Florida man eats another man to death.
Like that's all you ever hear. So I feel bad for the kid. But that should be like a lesson to everyone else. Stop letting people record you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
dumbass.
why do you
But
still have the video?
telling that to this generation though,
I know
the
all
the,
they want to do is
the
be
generation
recorded.
that is be recorded, like even not even doing nothing, like just looking at them, just looking at yourself, just
Hmm.
record me, with my favorite song that's right out right now, playing in the background and like staring into the camera. It's like
And that's it. I'm not
this is
saying anything.
entertainment.
I don't
Nope.
like. I don't have any particular talent. I just want y'all to listen to me.
There's no narrative, there's no storyline, there's no subject. This is just me.
I'm just here. This is just
Like
what
one
I'm
of my
doing.
favorite videos is a girl doing one of those stupid videos, and she's in a car, and like
She gets a
during
car
the
accident.
video, she gets into a car accident. Like, that's your dumbass kid. Stop recording
Kardashian
yourself.
style.
People love recording themselves while they in car driving. They love it. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. But these young kids absolutely positively love doing it. I don't get it.
You know, what really bothered me about that whole Laramie Tunsil situation was two things. One, nobody had the nerve or like the gall to be like to say to his father-in-law, like, all right, motherfucker, you don't say shit. Just anytime you talk, it's gonna make the situation worse.
Don't
Somebody
talk.
somebody quoted him as saying, he said, well, we can't prove that it was marijuana. It could be tobacco smoke. Did you see his ass? How faded he was.
My eyes were closed completely shut.
And
And
the
I ain't never
second
seen
thing,
nobody laugh that much at tobacco smoke.
you not lying. I ain't never seen no hookah that's strong. The second thing that really just that bothered me, but it almost wasn't surprising, they quoted Roger Goodell as saying, I think he was like, this is what makes the draft so entertaining. Anything can happen. Time the fuck out. You're supposed to be
Yeah,
the leader.
that was the next morning. That was the next morning. He was being interviewed on ESPN when he said that shit.
Like, motherfucker, are you serious?
He's like, do you know how much money I'm about to make for the NFL off of you? I can't wait. Cannot wait.
God damn. Like, he just continued to just be more of just a dickhead, man. He's gonna write the book on how to be a dickhead 101.
The only good thing about Roger Goodell is that he's so petty that he did not let that Brady thing go away.
Oh
he
no.
fought,
Oh
he
no.
fought that shit all the way through and it got
Tooth
his
and nail.
ass suspended. And I'm happy about that because fuck Tom Brady.
You're not lying. You're
Yep,
not
I
lying.
said it. I said it. And I meant it too. Fuck
Best
Tom
thing that
Brady.
happened to the NFL.
It's Tom Brady getting suspended. And everybody, he's going to be on a holy revenge tour, whatever. Whatever. He's gone for 4 games. That's all that matters to me.
Oh, how I pray for something like that to happen to Steph Curry. I know that motherfucker got some infidelity, so I'm just waiting to come on out. I don't care what y'all think. I know it's gonna happen.
Didn't he just something just happened with him yesterday on Twitter? What did he do? He tweeted out like a
He tweeted
porn.
like a porn site or something like that. I
Yeah.
forgot what it was.
And everybody's like, oh, look at him. And I'm just like, oh, he's just another dude. He's another guy. Hey, because if you are on Twitter and you're not following at least 3 or 4 porn sites, you're doing Twitter wrong. I'm just
Something's
going.
wrong.
I'm gonna put that out there for you right now. I mean, you're doing something completely and utterly incorrect with the way that you're doing your Twitter. Because you got to have a couple of them. Follow you a couple of Mia Khalifas and all of them. Yeah, why not? You got to.
Yeah, yeah. Or they'll get
It's,
exposed by
it's,
Lisa Ann.
it's the American way.
Yeah, that's all Twitter is good for at this point. Twitter ain't what it used to be, man. It's not as fun. It's not as interesting. More people are getting offended, and there's more crying. So you got to find your entertainment where you can.
Jordan crying faces as well.
Man, I saw one of the Republican elephant.
Yeah,
Oh,
I retweeted that, dude.
Oh my god.
It gets more and more creative, man. I don't care what people say. It will never get old to me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It is
and it's still so
hilarious.
funny. Still
So
so funny.
so Devin, because this podcast has been a complete train wreck because Comcast fucking sucks. We're gonna make this the last topic, but you want to talk about boxing, something that we talk about a lot on the Twitter page, but we haven't really talked about on the podcast. But we found out a couple of days ago that 50's team has been trademarking all of these. If I said 50, giving it away. That Floyd's team has been trademarking all of these 50 related trademarks, putting them all out, which lets everybody know that he plans on coming back and fighting one more time to get that 50th win. You put up a Facebook post about who we think he would be fighting, and it got pretty interesting. Who do you think he's going to fight in this on his 50th fight? For me, I think he's going to fight George Foreman because that's what Floyd does. Floyd is going to try to fight Muhammad Ali.
He gonna talk up some good shit about him, like he still got talent. He's old. He's a wise guy. He's really smart.
Floyd
Very
is
good.
going to bring Evander Holyfield out there for his 50th fight.
And he gonna sell that shit to the gospel, boy.
But who do you think is worthy of getting in the ring with him? I mean,
I got 3 people in a wild card, and I'll start with the wild card. Keith Thurman, our boy Andre. How you say his last name, Rob?
Who?
I think it's
Parham.
Parham. Shout out to
Parham.
Parham.
nah, yeah, that's my
He was
boy.
one of the. He commented on the
Yeah, Parham's a big
Facebook post the
boxing
other
fan.
day. And he brought up some really interesting points. And I was, playing devil's advocate a little bit, only trying to look from the eyes of Floyd. Because when he fought Robert Guerrero, that was supposed to be like even though Keith was already a bit big in boxing, but that was supposed to be like, okay, here's where he's going to show out. He's going to show his power, his agility. And it ended up being a really competitive fight, even though Thurman still dominated Guerrero. But promoters like Al Heyman and the onlookers of being Golden Boy and that cocksucker Oscar De La Hoya, they wanted to see him knock dude out. And if he would have knocked him out, he'd had another fight where he probably wouldn't even have had to fight Sean Porter. But because it was still competitive, the only people that really won from that fight was Al Heyman and Premier Boxing Champion.
Yeah.
So I think if he just straight up dominates Sean Porter, Floyd gonna have to look at him. And I think that's the last person that Floyd want to fight because dude is quick, he can counterpunch really good, and he has a great chin. He probably get frustrated for Floyd, using defensive tactics, but he's still pretty good. My third guy is
Go ahead.
my bad.
I'm thinking. No, go ahead. You finish.
Danny Garcia was my third, only because he's still undefeated. He's a well-known welterweight. And my second, my 2 and 1 is just Pacquiao and Canelo, and that's a coin flip because Floyd is just gonna judge it off of like, all right, can I make more money off of the people that completely hate me, or can I make my money off of the Mexican viewers and all of everybody that Oscar brings with him if I fight Canelo again? But I don't think it's any. Rob said this earlier. I don't think it's any reason for him to fight Manny, because people got their fill with that last fight. People were so disappointed in that shit. I don't think they want to see it again, man.
I think it would make a lot of money, but I think it would be equally as boring. It wouldn't make nearly as much money as it did the first time, obviously,
Yeah.
but it would be equally as boring because that's just the way that Floyd fights, and I don't think Manny is good enough anymore to make him fight in a different style. It was interesting. You didn't give Khan anything. You didn't say his name.
Canelo ain't fighting nobody. I give him this. He still looks. I was watching his last media day training for Amir Khan. Buddy is big. I mean, he's super big. He gained all this muscle because obviously he has to go up and wait to fight Canelo. And the scary thing is he still has his speed. But Canelo, man, is just too good. I just don't see him losing this fight. So I see, because I just posted on the A2S page, like Canelo said today. Well, I'm sorry, Oscar said today, like early this morning, he was like, if and when Canelo wins on Saturday, we'll contact Triple G's people on Monday. And Canelo came in a press conference today, and he was like, listen, Triple G don't deserve to fight me. And I think he's saying that mostly because it's true. Triple G is in reality ducking Andre Ward.
Yeah.
And Canelo know what his mind is on. He want to get another payday from Floyd. Because he's I guarantee you after he gets done with this shit, he's gonna be like, Floyd needs to give me another chance. I'm smarter, I'm more mature, I'm much better skillfully. He needs to give me another chance. And Floyd gonna do the same shit again.
Yeah, that boy, he's not. There's no disrespect to Canelo. He's a really, really good fighter, but he's not nearly good enough to beat Floyd Mayweather.
No.
Or to even make it competitive, to be completely honest with you. It really wouldn't be competitive. I mean, Danny Garcia is a good fighter as well. I don't think he's good enough to make it competitive. I mean, I don't know. I think the fight that I would most want to see, I would like to see him get in the ring with Broner, just because I want him to fucking destroy Adrian Broner.
You want that for the comedy, purely.
Yeah, like could you imagine them two trying to sell a fight against one another, and how absolutely ridiculous it would get in the lead up to that fight? And then
That
it
would
would
be
be,
the most vulgar, disrespectful, whichever network they choose, whether it's HBO or Showtime, like them like Road to the Fight, shows that they do, like
yeah.
the 24/7. That would be the most disrespectful, vulgar shit you've ever seen on cable television. With them two motherfuckers going before they fight.
And I am so looking forward to it if it ever happens. But the problem with that fight ever actually happening is that we're depending upon Broner to actually take care of business, and that's just not something that Broner is capable of doing. He never has been, probably never will be.
He's too immature. There's a guy at my barbershop. He moved here from Cincinnati, and he was like, I used to help promote him before he started getting in fucking trouble. He started drinking, doing drugs and shit, because this guy works for Al Heyman. Now he works out of Chicago. And he said that, he was like, man, he was just uncontrollable. As soon as he got just a little bit of money, he just started going crazy, started having all these fucking kids. And he said the biggest problem wasn't him, it was his family. They were all enabling him, which I was like, that's not surprising. I mean, he got to get that shit from somewhere. And if you add money to it, everybody getting money, everybody getting a handout, they getting their bills paid. Shit, they gonna let that trifle.
You got this dude's father brushing his hair like he's a servant. So you know that the relationship is upside down. My father wouldn't brush my hair no matter how much goddamn money I made. He slapped me upside the head with the goddamn brush before he started brushing my goddamn hair. This dude got his father brushing his goddamn hair. So like I said, the relationship
I haven't seen
down.
One of his fights in a while. Does that shit still happen?
He just fought recently. He beat one of Floyd's fighters.
I never seem to catch his fights though. It's always something weird happens, and I always miss them. But that shit with the brushing his hair, that shit still happens.
Oh yeah. He did have
Jesus Christ.
He brushed his hair and then he pushed his hand's dad away, just disrespectful as hell. I think I felt my dad hit me as I was watching Adrian Broner do that shit. And then right after that, he called Floyd out. Floyd ain't hearing that shit,
in one of
man.
the most ridiculous manners of all time.
We should have put a crying Jordan face on his ass and posted it on the site.
It was
And what's
so.
that mean shit, man? Because I mean, I saw a couple people talking about it, but it wasn't a big thing. You would think something like that would have moved the needle, and it didn't. I guess because just collectively, everybody was just like, dude, whatever, and just moved
Nobody
like
believed
and
it.
like ignored them. They like just completely ignored them. It was like whatever.
Because it is whatever. And that's exactly what it is. It's whatever. Nobody gives a fuck about Adrian Broner. Fuck him.
And I think Floyd can't take him serious because just like what you said, Dre, he just literally right after that fight was over, where he fought Ashley Theophane from TMT. Literally right after that motherfucker had to go home and get dressed and
go
turn
to
himself
court.
into and go to court, turn himself in. And I think it was in Cincinnati. Like you can't depend on nobody like that, man. He's gonna self-destruct before anybody in the ring beats him.
He's a moron. And even that last fight, I know he won the fight pretty handily or whatever, but it was a boring ass fight.
Oh my god, that fight was so fucking boring.
I think I want to see him go up against Floyd because I think that type of fight would bring something out of him, maybe, hopefully, probably not. But I mean, one could hope. But I don't know.
Well, that's a lot of hope.
Yeah, I know. I just want to see a good fight. That's my main objective in any of this stuff. I just want to see good boxing, and that's my focus. And I don't care who I have to watch to get it. I just want to see it.
Yeah, period. I think that's why, like, this year is so crucial in the sense of, like, while Floyd is waiting for, his potential opponent, it's going to be interesting to see how competitive these fights are, especially in the welterweight division and the heavyweight division, because after Rocky Marciano's record and go on about his business, and then after that, you're trying to, identify, locate, and actually stick with somebody who's actually going to be good. Because it seems like every time one of these guys fight a big name, they go on like these little sprees, these little streaks of fighting bums. And then 3 or 4 fights later, that's when they fight somebody that's,
that's worthwhile.
Worthy. Yeah.
So who do you have in this Canelo Khan fight?
Oh, Canelo. I think he's gonna beat the brakes off of Canelo.
I mean, off of Khan.
I'm sorry, my bad. I think Canelo's gonna beat Khan so bad. I have it right now, a knockout in the 7th round.
I certainly hope so, because I want him to stop talking. Like I just don't want to hear him anymore.
Canelo works motherfuckers' nerves, man.
He does so much talking. It's like when he first came on the scene and he started making himself known, he got knocked the fuck out like almost immediately after that. Does he not remember getting knocked the fuck out?
It's the same thing. Like, he was talking shit after, I forgot who Danny Garcia fought last. I think it was after Danny Garcia controversially beat. Me and Oliver, he commented on the boxing site. I mean, he commented on, according to sources, when I posted that boxing topic. Like, Danny Garcia ain't as legitimate as people think either, because he had 2 controversial decisions, especially that one against Lamont Peterson.
Lamont Peterson beat him.
He beat his ass, man. I don't care what.
But you want to know what? It didn't help that Lamont got hit for that PED thing, like pretty much right after that fight. Like that didn't help the situation. If he could have just not did that, that'd been great.
And then Lamont beat Garcia. He beat Khan first. He beat Garcia down the line, but because he fought Garcia, Lamont fought Garcia, Amir Khan felt like, well, he didn't legitimately beat me, so I could definitely beat your ass, Danny Garcia. So this is no thing. Like, Danny Garcia knocked you out. Lamont beat you. Okay, he was on the shit. He was with the shits. But Danny knocked you clean out.
Yeah, he knocked his ass out.
You didn't know where you were at. So now you want to try to fight him again? You're irrelevant, bro. You should have asked for that rematch fights ago.
That's the
when he was
thing
still
with
with Buddy
Khan.
Rose.
Khan, his whole thing is just talk. Like he just talk, 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 and
Ugh.
it gets
It would be
annoying.
different if he was successful, just like
Yeah,
Floyd. It
then you could accept
totally
it.
different.
But even when Floyd wasn't as big as he is now. Even before he got big, he wasn't doing a bunch of talking. Like he became the
Yeah, he
pretty boy.
wasn't.
He became pretty boy after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. Then that's
Mm-hmm.
when the pretty boy persona started coming around, and he started, doing all of the talking and the taunting, and he had a persona, and he was trying to sell fights at that point. But before then nobody knew about Floyd Mayweather like that, or were talking about him like that, so he wasn't doing a bunch of talking either. Khan doesn't understand that. You gotta earn the right to do all that goddamn talking. He hasn't earned anything, and he runs his mouth, and also gets knocked out. Like he hasn't he been knocked out like twice, maybe two
I
or
think he's
three
been knocked
times.
out 3 times.
Three
Yeah,
times? Oh, come on, dude. You can't be running your mouth like that. You're all at basketball games begging this dude to fight you. Get the hell out of here.
he got a glass jaw. I
Um,
just don't.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't take him seriously. That's exactly why I'm not. I'm not taking I'm not taking his talent seriously in this Canelo fight. I just can't do it.
So, so who do you think comes out of all of this, out of the watching all of this? I know a lot of people are saying that Floyd should try to fight Triple G, like he's ducking Triple
Shit.
G, but Triple G is like a million times bigger than Floyd. What does he got? Like 90 pounds on him? 100
And
pounds?
he's so big. He should be worried about Andre Ward before that. And that's like Triple G's a bullshitter and a hypocrite himself. He'll jump down in weight, come down drastically in weight to fight Floyd, knowing that the chances of him winning, he's not stupid, knowing that the chances of him winning are slim to none. And when he loses, he's going to use the crowd's opinion, trying to be a people's champ, of like, well, I had to come down so much in weight to fight you. You only came down because you wanted a payday. You don't have to go like anything. You could meet at a catch weight with Andre Ward to fight him, but you don't want to do it because you know there is
What
no.
did he say? Andre Ward had to come down to 127.
Like, he's so full of shit. His trainers
like
got him hyped up too.
like Andre Ward. If I'm gonna fight Ward, yeah. So what did he say? He had to come down to one. It was one something. I can't remember
I think it was
exactly.
like 157 or like 160 something. Like, Andre
Yeah,
Ward is basically a light
164.
heavyweight, bro. Like,
Yeah,
what are you talking
160
about?
something. Yeah, it was. He was on trash. I don't know. I actually like Triple G, but he was definitely on trash when it came to fight with Andre Ward. If he's really about that business, he'd definitely already be in a fight with him. But
I'm
he
not
cle-
going.
he clearly doesn't want that fight. So I don't know. I don't know. You got
I
anything else
wouldn't.
you want to talk about, man?
Man, we had just like this is my final word. Like, it's amazing what's going on in the city of Chicago right now in regards to baseball. The Sox are number 1 in the American League, not just a division, but the entire American League, and the Cubs been number 1 in the National League and just keep on dominating. And both of them almost essentially doing the same thing. The Cubs more with like better players, better players that came from the market. The Sox doing it just with a collective talent. And I don't want to jump to conclusions, about what could go on in the postseason, but I think it'd be better to judge that by the All-Star break, because obviously, God forbid, you have like injuries, you have like just general fatigue, you got some players might get moved around, but man, Jose Quintana lights out, fucking Brett Lowry, I mean, flashing leather, producing at the plate.
Man,
Then you got
Lowry is
everybody on the Cubs.
Lowry is flashing leather like crazy. He's crazy with it, but it's a wonderful thing to see both of these teams really playing well right now. I don't even fucking like the Cubs, but I mean I enjoy watching them play because they're just a really good team. They have a chance to do something really special. And on the flip side of that shit, so do the White Sox. So like
Yep.
I'm excited for it all. To be honest with you, I'm ready for it all.
I mean, the Cubs offense right now. I mean, even when a guy goes down, they still got. I mean, Zobrist is hitting home runs, and Caesar was having a really good year until he got put on the DL yesterday. I mean, everybody outside of even Hayward, who I think is struggling because he's on a new team, he's in a new city, and he's historically a slow starter. But I
Yeah.
think he'll he'll start to catch up pretty once it gets a little warmer outside.
Oh
He'll
yeah.
he'll start to he'll start to rev up, and he's never been a big power guy. Even though I think he probably should be honestly a 25 home run guy, but he's not. That's never been really his game. But I think he'll get it going pretty soon. And then the Cubs pitching has been, everybody was so worried about the back end of the rotation, but hell, the back end of the rotation has been just as good as the front end.
Yeah.
My only concern really is the bullpen because I mean these guys aren't really getting a lot of work. I mean the Cubs are blowing people out. They're scoring 7 and 8 runs a game. There's really no point in bringing the closer in. You don't get a lot of save opportunities. So that stuff starts to tighten up in the postseason. So I don't want to see if somebody like the Mets come in that their pitching is going crazy again, and then you got these one-run games and you got a bullpen that's not used to that. That could cause some issues. But other than that, man, both teams are just clicking on all cylinders, man. And hopefully, both teams can continue to be healthy because the Cubs are already running into just nagging little injuries here and there, man. It's starting to pile up, and luckily,
Yep.
these guys they're so deep that it's they're not missing a beat. Like if you can lose somebody and Baez, who's honestly probably a little bit better than the guy that just went out. It's just like that's crazy. So hopefully, man, they can keep this thing rolling. I love the way Joe Madden keeps the guys loose. There's all these goofy, silly things he does with the suits and the whole thing. It's a good time to be a baseball fan in Chicago. Finally, so finally, hopefully this year, the crosstown rivalry, even though they've watered it down so much over the past couple of years, they've turned it into like a two-game series,
Yeah, two
which is
games.
which is which is stupid.
Oh, it's so fucking
But
stupid.
it's so dumb. It should be a three-game series the way it always was, but whatever. But hopefully that'll get some energy into the series and make the stupid BP Cup or whatever the hell it is they give away to the winners. Hopefully it'll mean a little bit more this year. The rivalry will be a little more heated up, and can get some people excited about baseball. In this town again because it's something special happening, and hopefully they can both keep it going on for the rest of the year.
That would be awesome. I would welcome that. We'll see what happens. But both teams are really good. I think the crap that happened with the White Sox over the summer, over the off season, that
You know what? The
probably
shit, the shit probably fucking helped as
I, I
much as
I think
as as
it obscured people's knowledge of just how much that team has improved. I think that was the thing with that. It just obscured it a little bit that nobody
yeah.
really
You
knew.
also you also got rid of Captain Saberhole apparently. This motherfucker, yeah, yeah. This dude is over in like fucking, I don't know where he's at, man, but he's like, he's like saving like prostitute rings or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, apparently he's not doing it with his son, which is odd, I guess.
Yeah.
Consider it.
He
He
Can't
wants
wanted
take
he
his
he
wants
son
his
with
wanted
the
to be
dogs
with
son
his
down
son
there.
every day.
everywhere. He wants his son everywhere.
But now he's like traveling to other countries and like trying to save like world hunger or some shit. I don't know.
Fucking idiot. But
But
whatever.
Not
maybe
funny with
getting
that
his
shit.
200 batting average out of town probably was the best thing that could happen to the White Sox.
Clearly, because they're a much better team without him. And with that being said, this has been According to Sources. You guys know where to reach us. According to Sources at gmail.com. If you have any questions, According to Sources on Facebook, A2 Sources on Twitter. I said it the last time we did a podcast. We are part of a podcast network. You guys should check all of the podcasts out. We have Curses and Cursive. We have E-Man's podcast review. We have the JoJo podcast show. We have the ETMF podcast, and we have Podcast on Repeat. All of those are different genres of podcasts. They're very interesting, funny people. You guys should give them a follow, rate, and subscribe to their podcast. And with that being said, I'm Dre. That's Rob and Devin. This has been According to Sources. And we are out.
Jason Whitlock, you suck.
You actually got that one in. I still didn't hit, bro. I knew you were about to do something.